Good morning, everyone. Hello, and welcome to oh, you're all in here so fast. Good morning. This is the program. My name is RJ, if you're just joining us for the first time. And I happen to make coffee in my underwear. Today's a very special day. I'm wearing these fun underwear for, well, apropos of nothing, really. They're just orange and blue, and I think they're fun and nice. However, I'm making the coffee of someone who's near and dear to my heart. Maybe he's just dear. Maybe he's not near at all. But I will be making Steve Corino Squared Circle Cafe coffee, but we'll talk about that in just a little bit as things are going on, because we already have a song request, which I'm taking from the wonderful Bill Alexander. Hello. He said, morning, but we could use a bit of levity to start the show. It's a darn fine idea. So could you sing The Witch Doctor by David Seville, dedicated to Mom? I hope your mom and not my mom. Either way, both of our mothers. I told the witch doctor, he told me what to do. Bum, 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 bum. I told the witch doctor, he said, ting, tang, walla, bing, bang. Ting, tang, walla, walla, bing, bang. I hope that works. I don't know the rest of the song, but I think that's the key part. I hope that works. Ting, tang, walla, bing, bang. Ting, tang, walla, walla, bing, bang. I like how you said the ting, tang, the second time is much more knowing and much more coy. I also know lime and a coconut, but that's for another day. Everyone's saying hello. Dixie, Sam said, well, hi. Nails is here. Alexa said, good morning from the Caribbean. Well, hello to you. Nicholas said, the world is burning, and here we are to watch a man make coffee in his underwear. Yeah, a lot is going on, and it's very weird and very uncomfortable. Nevertheless, we can come together and talk about things and talk about other things without ignoring them. You can acknowledge and support things, and you still have other stuff to do. And it's weird. Life has been weird for a good couple of months now, back and forth of weirdness. Nevertheless, I can certainly sing The Witch Doctor, come what may. Leo Montfort said, since Splat-A-Lot, what was the show I was on the BBC here in the UK. If you ever wrestle in the UK, do you think it would be a good idea to wrestle as Gildar instead of RJ? Well, let me tell you something, Leo. The Gildar costume is owned by the production company who owns Splat-A-Lot, and it's sitting in a box. And in order to get it out, we have to get permission from BBC and all these other networks. So I have a feeling it's not going to be okay with me dressing up as Gildar and then getting my ass kicked. Nevertheless, who knows? Maybe they've changed their mind. Maybe that would be a good spin-off. Clarence said, "Hi RJ, it's Clarence." Well, that makes sense. How you feeling? I'm doing okay. We're gonna keep trucking. Is that what they say? People always say that. Keep trucking. And I think, how did that get into the mainstream? That seemed very specific to truck drivers only. Neil said hello to our old friend RJ City. Danny said, good morning. It's weird being here in the earlier half instead of the last 10 minutes or so. Well, thank you for joining me so early. It's so sweet of you. Karen says hello. Ty says, I would say hi to him, but I'm sure RJ would just ignore me. That's correct. Dixie said, how are you, RJ? I'm doing okay. Because I have this. Steve Corino's Squared Circle Cafe Coffee. King of old school silver. He didn't write anything here, which I think is a misstep. However, there are a lot of other things I got. I got this wonderful mug, which he also has available, and it's coffee in the middle of a ring. And I got this wonderful shirt, which is the same logo. And I'm not going to put that on right now because it'll ruin the whole milieu of the show. And also a little card. I just want to talk about, you think about Steve Corino. And Steve Corino, wrestling legend, mentor, trainer, person, whatever, influence on me in various ways. What I didn't know was that he had such adorable penmanship. Look at how fun that is. I want to write my name like that all the time. That big R and then a little J. Just to say, I like you, but I don't love you. That's what I get. I'm a handwriting expert. And the little card says, this is adorable, thanks a latte. And a lot of people talk about Steve Corino's wrestling psychology and his great matches and promos and his influence on the business, but not enough people talk about the pun coffee cards he buys. Very underrated, when it comes to that. Second only maybe to Salvatore Bellomo, who once sent me a card that said, "Let me espresso myself." Jordan wants to know, how are the AWA Cobb salads? They're good. They are hearty. Great. Vern makes a great hard-boiled egg. Leo said, would you rather date an avid diaper fetishist or a woman who insists on publicly wearing Nickelback shirts and has seen them live 20 plus times? If you're just wearing the diaper and not using it, I think you can get away with it. I feel like I'm wearing one right now. I would rather that. If it's just to wear and not to use, I would say the diaper fetishist over the Nickelback, because Nickelback, you know, how many times am I going to look at this photograph? But if it's someone who uses the diaper, I may have to put up with a real Chad gal. Al said, is it too early for a Cobb salad? Well, I had breakfast at 8:30. I'll give it 10:30 at the earliest, because Cobb salad is, you know, is lunch to me. But you could err on a Sunday. You can mix it in with brunch. It's possible. Ty said, oh, Sam, always poor me. That's for sure. Charles M. Brown said, I need to work on your cuticle, sir. Wow. That's a personal attack that I feel very weird about. They're not okay. They're not that bad. Really? What? Are you watching the show with binoculars? What is wrong with you? I wonder how his cuticles are. Nicholas said, when are we going to see, when are we going to get an Argentine mug on your Pro Wrestling Tees store? I don't know. Now I'm motivated because last week Matt Cardona was on the show and he had his own mug. And now I got the Steve Corino coffee and he has his own Squared Circle Cafe mug. And I would love to know. We're working on it. I'm going to email them today. Enough is enough. Danny said, Cobb salad has eggs in it, so nope, not too early for it. That's not too bad. Neil said, RJ, have you got a mod? No, I prefer to be my own mod, emotionally, too. Aaron said, maybe you can craft the shirt into some sort of underwear. Let me get CBC on the line. Yes, if you punch in whatever the numbers that correspond to CBC on your touch-tone phone, you'll be connected to them immediately. Clarence said, hi, RJ, it's Clarence. I want to make sure you're okay, buddy. I'm doing all right. We could obviously all be better given the circumstances. But relatively speaking, I'm doing okay, and I hope that you are doing okay too, Clarence. Texas High Flyer said, gotta go to my graduation. I'll catch you later, and congratulations to you, Texas. Nils New York said, love the interview with Andy Keeson. Oh, yeah, he seemed super nervous. I did a lovely interview with a professor in England, and we talked about wrestling and theater, but let's talk about wrestling and coffee because I hear the water is a brewing, and I want to get this going. This is a silver. So I can't remember if I got the dark or not, but it smells very flavorful, and I'm excited to scoop. It came pre-ground. I do like to ground them myself, but I do trust this man's judgment. It does seem to be a very coarse grind, so maybe he knew that I was making it for the French press. That is the kind of personal touch that I admire. Let's do 4 in a little bit. Okay. That's enough. That's adorable. And I will obviously put this in my vacuum sealed canister when I am done. Since you are now signed to the AWA, said Leo, are you still going to be allowed to do matches for Wrestling Society X? Well, they have to just get permission from Vern. We're still explaining to him what MTV is. Charles says, but I confess, my cuticles need work too. Doesn't matter. I'm already insulted. Al Valencia said, yeah, you should have your own mug. Working on it. Ty said, see, I'm getting RJ views, and yet he still gives me shit. Hey, lost shadow. What? I've lost my shadow many times, especially on a sunny day. Angel said, good morning, sweetheart. Hope you have a wonderful day. The day is almost as gorgeous as you, and I guess that's true. Jordan said, I wish I could share the picture of my RJ City mug so everyone could be jealous. God bless Hulk Hogan, and then uses the Hulk Hogan emoji, which our members have access to. Steve Corino has entered the chat. I got the dark. So this is the dark. It is. I am very impressed for a dark roast. Many dark roasts smell just burnt. Go to Starbucks or something. It just smells like burnt bacon or something. This seems very flavorful, and I'm excited to use it. And if you are interested, you can look up Squared Circle Cafe. They're on Twitter and Instagram. I tag them in various ways, and they have their own website, and you can click on it, and it'll be nice. And you can raise a glass and say, fine penmanship, sir. Al Valencia said, did Matt pay the $10? Yes, he did. Does RJ enjoy fishing? I've been fishing a couple times. It's a fine. It's not my favorite. I'm not an avid fisherman. I get on the boat and I'm like, well, so this is it. You know, a lot of waiting around, a lot of work for minimal return, depending on how good of a fisherman you are. I think my brother once caught a stingray. We were fishing at the edge of the beach in Delaware, and he said, pull in a stingray or a turtle. You can catch anything, which is a little frightening. Pantyless Grandma said, keep on trucking was from a Blind Boy Fuller blues song. Wow, trucking my blues away. Robert Crumb made it a popular phrase through Zap Comics. Then Eddie Kendricks sang keep on trucking 5 years later. Wow, that came up. If you'll excuse me, water. One moment, please. There we are. This is an exciting moment. Let me just, there we go. Gonna have a fun time. Let's listen to this. Let's hear how the Squared Circle Cafe coffee meets the water, how it reacts to it. Seems to be the flavor is releasing itself already and expressing itself. And it's saying, hey, thanks a latte. But of course, I'm not a latte guy. I eschew the milk, perhaps for a little creamer or a little butter, or I just like it nice and black, especially when it's dark. Isn't that nice? I always don't, with the French press, don't be afraid to fill it up to the tippy top, because as the water is absorbed by the ground, it will lower, it will taper up, unless you spill it, and then it's a real disaster. Nevertheless, let us let that sit as we have a good guy. Here's a question. Oh, look, there's David Arquette. Have you ever caught crabs? Well, I was at a party with you once in 1996, and that was the first and last time. Also, David, I don't know if you can see, people are using the David Arquette face emoji. Do you see that? That's you, the guy with the mustache. We made that for you, and all the members of the channel can use them. Ryan said, are you a fan of The Undertaker from 1990 to 2010? That's broad and sweeping. Only 1992. That was his best year. Everything else I didn't watch. Nicholas said, every time a man in his underwear carries boiling water, I get nervous. I've only burnt myself once, legitimately burnt myself, and that's because the French press was not, there was a platform for it to go on. It wasn't in all the way, and it stopped, and I jerked. It was a disaster. Nail said, David arrives with a bang. Eric said, coffee better be good, Steve. And then Stevie's threatening you with the B. Arthur emoji I have. David sent a lovely fuchsia tribute of a pear on a rocket ship, which is so apropos because I watched the space launch, and you watch it go. You want to make sure everything's okay, and then it goes up, and then you're like, okay. You know, you want them to make a little speech at that point. I know they have things to do, but you want them to make it a little more commercial for television. Jeff said, is David Arquette a good singer? Well, that's a good question. He certainly had a band, which I'm still trying to look up. Can't quite find the songs from his band Ear 2000. Jordan Patrick said, you and Mr. Corino are tagging together. Who do you choose to face, the Freebirds or the Von Erichs? Well, I think, and this is just me, I think Steve and I together would be more closer to the Freebird spectrum in terms of being an antagonist. So I think it would be better to face perhaps the more reactionary Von Erichs, but that's just me. I wouldn't be upset either way. Bill said we need a Steve Corino emoji, or at least a coffee emoji. I will get a coffee emoji at some point, so you can all express. I don't know what expression that will be. Nail said, is Steve here? Is he aware that Wrestle Talk says his name instead of the name Virus in their videos so they don't get demonetized? Fascinating. I did not know that. Ben said, what would RJ City's coffee taste like? I'm not ready to settle down on a coffee. I'm still very much a coffee bachelor. Steve has tasted many, many coffees. He is quite a connoisseur, and he said, this, to me, is the best coffee. This is the coffee equivalent of settling down, is when you have your own, you're like, this is what I want to drink for the rest of my life. And that's fantastic. Certainly, you know, you could be in an open coffee relationship and still try others and swap and trade and things of that nature. But for right now, I'm tasting as many different coffees as I can, and I'm excited to press this, but not yet. Al said, just the David versus RJ match. Really enjoyed the match. Thanks, RJ, for putting entertainment back in sports entertainment. Someone had to. And also, I put entertainment back in David Arquette's career. Neil said, oh, David is going to give us a good request. Yes, David, do you have a request? David said, I'm a living emoji, and isn't that the truth? Charles Dempsey Brown said, do you shower before or after the show? Just curious, because you seem to have bedhead, not a put down, just a question. You went after my cuticles. You're going after my hair. You're just dissecting me really bit by bit. I shower at night, so I'm relatively clean for the morning. There is a little bit of bedhead, but in a way I enjoy it, and I'm okay with it. And will I shower after this? Yeah, at some point. I don't think I'm particularly dirty. Wow. Nicholas said, given where things are going, it takes balls to ride the first rocket ship to attempt to go to the space station in years. Luckily, nothing bad happened. It was quite impressive. Angel said, oh my God, this was so good. Then David showed up. Story of my life. Question to Steve Corino if he's still here. And I always wanted to know, somebody asked last week, why is it called squared circle? Where did that come from? Not the cafe. I mean the term squared circle in general. I feel like if anyone would know, it would be you. Fun fact, I took Steve Corino's seminar years and years and years ago when I was a bright, bushy-tailed little boy, and I still have the little sheets he gave me, the stapled little sheets with valuable information on how to be, if not a good wrestler, at least like an inoffensive one. I think that's always the goal, and I think it works. Danny said, oh, Snapples, apropos of nothing. Pantyless Grandma said, so what's the equivalent of coffee swinging? Well, you have a bean party and you put them all in the bottom of a bowl and you pick it out and you say, whose bean is this? And then you get to have that coffee. It's fun. Neil said, I'm still on the Cafe Bustela. Good for you. So am I. I have a little espresso left from them. Leo said, who has creepier guys? Wrestle Talk, Cultaholic, or what culture? I don't really know. Big Country had a lovely goldenrod tribute, and I am taking $5 song requests. So if you do have a song on Big Country, do let me know. If you have a country song, I can sing Country Roads. It's very sweet of you. He said, good live stream, and I appreciate that. Spot Center said, have you watched the show Dangerous Grounds about searching for premium coffee beans in dangerous places around the world? No, I have not. Neil said, I think Justin is right. We need a shrugging emoji, maybe something like this. David said, they call it squared circle because the ring is square. I don't understand the question. Well, it's a ring. A ring, David, would denote that it's round. So how can it be round and square at the same time? It's not a rhombus or something. They don't call it the squared rhombus. It's a circle. So it's round. It's both round and square. That's my question. I feel like it's an oxymoron, conflicting type of term. Steve said the ring is square and the arena is a circle. Old term. So it's like theater in the round in a sense, but the ring is a square. That makes sense. But now the arenas are so blocky that people are like, Madison Square Garden. But Madison Square Garden is round. If MSG is round, is it still a squared circle? Or is it the squared squared? These are the questions. And this is how we're really evolving the concept of the business together. Thank you for answering. I'm so sorry that I continue to confuse you. David said they call it square. Oh, we already did that. Danny said wrestling rings are squared, but rings are normally circle. No. Big Country said, I don't know any song that he can sing. Big Country just doesn't have any song. Just pick a song, Big Country. Ooh, Big Country does have a song. Simple Man by Leonard Skinner. Well, today's your lucky day. Mama told me when I was young, sit beside me, my only son. I'm speeding this up. It's a lot of guitar now. And listen closely to what I say. And if you do this, it'll help you some sunny day. And be a simple kind of man. And be something down. You love and understand. And be a simple kind of man. Oh, won't you do this for me, son? if you can. Very polite mother said to her son, do this if you can. At the end of the song, you don't hear it, but the son goes, I can't really do that. I'm very complicated. And she goes, okay, that's fine. Go live your life. I hope that worked for you, Big Country. Leo Montfort said, you mentioned on Instagram that you shoot your shot with Lilith from Frasier and Cheers. Can you tell us more? Yeah, she's married. I hope that works. I spin it. Amelia said, which came first, the circle or the square? I'm going to say the circle if we're going back to theater in the round. Well, it depends. No, I think people fought in a circle first. Because say if there was the gladiators or something, they're all surrounding things, they would do it in a circle. They wouldn't be in a square. That's just weird. David Arquette said, it's best when he doesn't really know the songs. You can see behind the curtain. You can see my brain clicking and firing. Ty said, the facial expressions while he sings, though. Thank you. Jasmine used the me looking unimpressed emoji, which is most of my emojis. Aaron said, the kind is the hardest part of the song. That's where fire. Oh, hey, David said, Ty. Nail said, find me someone who makes better faces when they sing than RJ. I can't. It just helps me get there. Harry Big Boy Weiss said, back in the day in TNA, there was a 6-sided ring, but on the first show, June 19, 2002, there was a squared circle, and the squared circle is still in TNA Impact Wrestling to this day. Well, that's a tidbit of well-known history. Leo said, are you familiar with the Blow Monkeys cover of You Don't Own Me from the Dirty Dancing soundtrack? I don't think I'm not. I don't think I am. I heard a bunch of their covers because I use it as the theme song. The original one I use as my theme song. But I didn't like any of the covers. William said, hey there, sorry I am late. Well, welcome to the class, Mr. Finn. Please sit down and grab a pen. Big Country said if there was a lighter emoji, I would post it. That's very sweet. Lost Shadow said, why, you have wonderful soul. I guess I do. And I also have wonderful coffee. It's a good segue. And I'm sure this will spill a little bit, but nevertheless. Oh, this is it. Yeah, we're going. Okay, that's fine. We'll let it all. Oh, Lord. There we go. Sometimes that happens. So glad I gave everyone the advice about filling it up to the top. There we go. This presses very nicely, Stephen. It's very smooth. If you are just joining us, I'm making Stephen Corino's Squared Circle Cafe coffee. This is the silver coffee, which is also dark. Let me fold this huckleberry. There we go. That's better. I will deal with that at a later date. Let's do this now. Let it cool. My problem is, often I want to try a coffee and I will pour it and immediately have it, and it just tastes like hot. Just tastes like heat. So I'm going to give it a second to let it meet the world. Neil said, hey, I don't mind some impact factors with my coffee. Jeff said, glad I asked the question about the ring being called a squared circle last week. Thanks for the answer, Mr. Corino. See how you're helping people, Steve, in many ways today? Victor is ready for that wrestling class. Brandon said, I think a circular platform for fighting on would be very difficult to build in church basements. That's true. That's true. What have you got planned for this week? Just this, pretty much, Nails. Just this. Maybe some reading some books. We have a lovely request from Jordan Patrick, who wants a theme from Happy Days. They use different versions, actually, for some reason. In the first, 2 seasons, it's one of those things where you don't realize that's better. Oh, now we're handsome. Sunday, Monday, happy days. Tuesday, Wednesday, happy days. Thursday, Friday, happy days. The weekend comes, my cycle hums, ready to groove with you. Doom, doom, doom. These days are ours, 7 degrees of every day. These days are ours, 7 degrees of every day. Goodbye, sunshine, hello, blue. Vincent, I hold you. I went up a whole octave. My happy days. I hope that works for you. By the way, Happy Days is the reason that, so they found out, I think the show had ended, and they realized that there was a casino in Vegas that had a bunch of Happy Days slot machines. And they were like, we're not getting paid for this at all. So they sued, however they sued the producers or the production company or whatever, and it turns out they were at the forefront of like licensing agreements for likenesses in TV shows. Wonderful Blue Meanie is here from the Mind of Meanie podcast, and he said, in old times, combat sports took place in a circle. When they had to put up ropes for boundaries, they changed it to a square arena, hence the circle became squared, also known as the squared circle. Well, that's a much better explanation than Steve. Steven said, I'm like a nice guy, you know. In a manner of speaking, you're a nice guy. Steve, by the way, have you met Blue Meanie? Blue Meanie, this is Steve Corino. Steve Corino, this is Blue Meanie. Ty said, I'm amazed at all the useless shit he has in his brain. I hope she's talking about me. She is. David sent another future tribute. And it's well, this isn't a good look. It's a giant pear that's cheering and stomping, and it's shaking all the buildings. That's terrifying. Nail said, oh my God, that Sunday morning just reminded me of the Hogan commercial he did for air conditioning units in Japan. And then there's the Hogan emoji from my members chat. Have you seen it? Not only have I seen it, I know the song. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday comes again. The only reason I did that for free and not my usual $5 song request is because no one would have requested it. Jessamine Duke said blue lovely and used my head emoji. Great job, said Jordan Patrick. That's so sweet of you. Blue Meanie said, when RJ sings, I turn up my volume so the neighbors think I can sing. That's so sweet. I'm really your Cyrano de Bergerac. Blue Meanie says, I love Steve Corino. Love is so sweet. Look at everyone's in here. I want Cyrus the Virus. I want him in here. I want Amish Roadkill. I want to have a ECW Originals chat room. Simon Graves has a lovely Turkish tribute. Speaking of theme songs and learning, can you sing the lost lyrics to Head of the Class? Sure I can, Simon. Here we go. Love that song. We'll never forget it. Big fan of their lyrics. Head of the class. That's who I'm talking to. Head of the class. He's the guy over there in the tweed jacket who loves a nice tweed jacket. I do, head of the class. I'm talking to the head of the class. I hope I don't make an ass of myself asking stupid questions, but Howard Hessman is the head of the class. Head of the class, doom, doom. I'm talking to the head of the class, doom, doom. Those are the lost lyrics to the theme from Head of the Class, starring Howard Hessman. And now, without any further ado, here we go. This is so sweet. This is Steve Corino's Squared Circle Cafe Coffee in the Squared Circle Cafe cup. And let me just, it's very hot, but let me mop my brow with the Steve Corino Squared Circle Cafe shirt. Let's have a nice sip. And if this goes bad, this ruins on every level, really, as a mentor, as a fan of his. We gotta get the air. Let me get another one. It's enjoyable. I enjoy it. Here are my observations. It's dark. That I can tell yet. It is very flavorful in a sense. There's a lot happening there as opposed to just the burntness. And I think it will be great. Tonight, I'm going to make cold brew coffee for the morning, which is usually very sweeter. So I'm going to I enjoy this very much. And I also enjoy the mug, even though I'm not holding the mug traditionally as one would hold a mug. I think that's very nice. And I'll tell you the trick is why it's so hard, why this could have went so wrong is because I'm drinking hot coffee and it's very hot outside. It's very hot in the house. I've been making a lot of cold brews. So to switch to this could be very overwhelming for me. There's a huge margin of error, but the notes in this are delightful. Let's read. I wish there was something on the back. I wish you had your biography or something, your height and weight, your stats. But it is a blend of Colombian, Brazilian, and Costa Rican coffee. And I think that's why it works. It's not just fun. There's a lot going on in my cup, and I enjoy it. Now I really want to try all the blends because this is so nice. It's, dare I say, artisanal. It's a darn fine cup of coffee. My hat's off to you, Steve Corino man, old school man, the king. I tip my hat, I tip my cup to the king. Very proud of you. That's nice. That is nice. I like that very much. I'm happy now. I was nervous for a while, and then I thought, because I was practicing like, well, what am I going to do? I can't really hide my face. I'm never really good at that. So if it's bad, you would know. But I feel so much better now. So thank you, not only for the excellent coffee, but for saving me from my anxiety. That's so sweet of you. David said the simplest things make this guy happy. Yeah, David, like maybe getting on a talk show. Just going to let that hang in the air for a second. Bill said, in honor of David, Steve, Meanie, and Jessamine, spelled incorrectly, but I know who you're talking about. Can you sing Who Loves You by the Four Seasons? Who loves you, pretty baby? Who's gonna stay you through the night? Who loves you, pretty baby? Who loves you, I can't get, that's as high as I can get. I hope that works. I hope that was okay. It's so high for me that you can't hear what I'm saying. Who loves you, pretty baby? Frankie Valli seemed pompous to me. That whole Jersey Boys movie, I got you when Frankie got shot, or like whatever, Brooklyn was where I was born. It's like, Stephen Corino says, thank you. I thank you. Go click and go buy this wonderful coffee. Tell him RJ sent it. I don't have my own promo code. Just write it in the comments so he knows the level of my influence. Blue Meanie is swooning. I think that's because of the Four Seasons. Jerry, baby. Imagine being married to a guy who can sing like that all the time. He can sing better than you. You know what I mean? Really just sticking there. I can sing like this, and I can sing like this. It's a lot. Eric said, I appreciate that. Thanks. Jeff said, should I go on the Chris Jericho cruise next February? Would you do the Jericho cruise? The question is, does it have Cobb salad? And the answer is no, then I'm staying on land. Lost Shadow said, I swear, Jessamine, High Five, and you are my favorite people. Well, that's a nice cornucopia, a nice menagerie. Jordan said, who are you better friends with, David or Gordy? And then David wrote a message, and then he retracted. Oh, here it again. David said, when you vocalize the power chords, we all win. And that should be an allegory for everyone's lives. Jasmine said, this is where the shrug emoji would fit perfectly. That's fair. That wasn't my best song. Bill said, sorry for the spelling, Jasmine. He now spells it correctly. Al said, food reviews with RJ City would be awesome. I'll think about it. But in the meantime, I'm reviewing coffee. I will say there's a little, I don't know what this is. Okay, that's better. I like it. And the grounds are in here just like I like it. That is the joy of the coarse ground. I'm going to pour myself another cup. Maybe I'm going to try let's see how the bulletproof works. But I also, as sweet as this is our Steve Corino tribute episode, there is another mug I was gifted by a lovely gal named Sabrina. Here's the mug, and I would be remiss if I did not mention it. It's very apropos, and I'm just going to put it here. I'm going to use it next week because I want to keep the theme here I often find that the bulletproof mix can be overpowering sometimes. So you need a strong, darker coffee. So my hopes are high for this one. We've got this here, which I use in various ways on the weekends. There we go. It's a nice, look at this. See the color changing, everyone? Isn't that sweet? Now, I don't know if Stephen will consider this a great sign of disrespect that I'm adding to his coffee. I hope he realizes that it's something I often do. I hope he's not personally offended by it. I also feel like the butter creates a little bit of sweetness and brings out the different notes in the coffee, which is sweet. Charles Dempsey Brown said, "Are you as taken with David Arquette as DA is with you?" You know what? I'm very taken with his family. And as you all know, on